Hi, Plumies. Thanks for coming to see me again. Did you know? It's been exactly 6 months since we first met. At the time, I had no idea what was waiting for me on the other side of that mirror. It's been so much fun getting to know you ever since that day. And because of that, I'd like for you to know me too. That's why I've decided I'd like to tell you a story. The story of Vilhelm Vanderbos, the noble owl, before we met. You see, I grew up in a beautiful city filled with other owls just like me. Well, maybe not exactly like me. I was born as one of the last descendants of the wise owl Archimedes, a powerful alchemist and ally to the greatest wizard of all time, Merlin himself. All those years ago, my forefather was entrusted by Merlin with a very important task: to guard a magical amulet and the gemstone inside of it. This task was inherited by Archimedes' children, and their children, and many generations after, and soon, I would be next in line. From the moment I was born, I was preparing for my role as the next guardian. I studied history, literature, alchemy, and even some arcane magic. My curiosity was always encouraged, except when it came to one subject: the amulet I was bound to protect. As per tradition, I would not learn the secret of the gemstone and why we guard it until I came of age. Only then would I finally learn why Merlin gave the amulet to Archimedes and why my family has been protecting it ever since. It was a moment I looked forward to all my life, but that moment never came. My city was laid to waste unprovoked. We never saw it coming. My memories of that day are hazy at best, but I will never forget my mentor's words as he pressed the amulet in my hands. Keep it safe, no matter the cost. Hide your wings, stay hidden, and trust nobody. You are the guardian now, Vilhelm. Don't let them find you. That was the last time I ever saw him. I was transported far away from everything and everyone I knew. There was no time for goodbyes. When I opened my eyes again, I was alone, with nothing but the gemstone still clutched in my hands. I realized I'd arrived at a place I'd only ever read about in books. It was Archimedes' sanctuary, a sacred place for owls to take shelter in desperate times. I waited years for the others to join me there, but nobody ever came. Time went by, and I vowed to heed my mentor's words. I hid my wings, kept away from the world, and trusted no one. Also the amulet, the only reminder of my former home, stayed safe. Meanwhile, I desperately tried to uncover the secrets of the gemstone by myself. I searched every room and read every book I could find, hoping that Archimedes would have left me a clue. It was the only thing I could do to distract myself from my grief and loneliness. But just as I thought those feelings would swallow me up, I heard a voice whisper to me. It was a strange voice, surreal yet familiar. I should have known better, but I had been alone for too long, and I was desperate for someone to talk to. I told myself it was the spirit of Archimedes, still residing in this sanctuary, here to guide me when no one else could. So I listened to the whispers, telling me about the wonders of the gemstone and all the power I could hold. Before long, the voice became louder, and a dark shadow started appearing before me. Its glowing green eyes stared back at me in every reflection, following me through every window, mirror, or puddle. It filled my head with whispers, until I no longer knew which thoughts were my own. I was slowly losing control, until one day the shadow commanded me to destroy the gemstone and release him. Do it now! Realizing what I was about to do, I finally came to my senses. I refused to let my ancestors down, and I would not let my mentor's last words go to waste. I covered up every mirror and reflective surface in the sanctuary in an attempt to banish the shadow from my mind. I resumed my studies and started to conduct my own alchemy experiments to find out more about the nature of the gemstone. One thing was clear to me now. Archimedes and all the owls before me had not only guarded the gemstone, but also protected the world from the dark power lurking inside of it. But despite my best efforts, there were days where I would hear the whispers again. Whenever I felt especially lonely or desperate, my mind would be vulnerable to the shadow's influence. You can't escape me. It was slowly wearing me down over time, and it seemed inevitable that the darkness would take hold of me eventually. Until that one day, when one of the covered mirrors began to shine. It was nothing like the darkness that was reflected in it before. It was the start of a new beginning. Suddenly, I was connected to so many new friends, and the once empty sanctuary is now filled with Plumies, who support me through everything. My life changed completely thanks to you, and the dark whispers that once filled my mind have finally stopped. Well, almost.